Hey guys, Rexlent here. Welcome to another Dummies guide, this time for Sigrika. So I'll go straight into it. Sigrika is an arrow DPS specializing in echo skill damage. Now let's talk about her kit. For her basic attack, it comes in 4-hit combos, and it will be really helpful if you identify the 4th hit of her combo, so that will help with her Forte later on. So it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th combo, notice, it's a backflip. And after she does the backflip, both of her basic attack and resonance skill will be lit up. So I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, backflip. So see how left click and E skill is glowing? So let me show you what happens if I do basic attack. Enhance basic attack. So enhance basic attack. She does an AoE. And then I get a yellow mark on her Forte gauge. Now let me do enhance skill instead. So 1, 2, 3, backflip. Enhance skill. So now she has 2 gauges, 1 yellow and 1 blue. So basic attack will always give yellow, and enhanced skill will always give blue. And you cannot build past 2 gauges, so see what happens if I do it again. Nothing happens. So once you have 2 segments of the gauge, what you do is you press heavy attack to lock it in. So heavy attack, hold basic. Like so. And then those marks will be converted to Mike Wazowski. You get the blue mic and the yellow mic. Now, the colors of the mics have different effects. If you have blue and yellow, different color, they deal more damage. If let's say you have something like 2 yellow, it's gonna cause stagnation. So it's gonna deal slightly less damage, but it's gonna slow down the enemies. And then if you have 2 blue instead and you lock it in, it's gonna pull enemies. Like that. So it's easy to understand. Yellow mic is for single target and slowing them. Blue mic is for AoE, where you press the skill. And now when you have 4 Mike Wazowski in your bar, doesn't matter which color, as long as you have 4, you can press and hold resonance skill to do her main nuke damage. So you press and hold skill, and she does this. This is her biggest source of damage. And that skill has a 25 seconds cooldown, so they will want you to do rotations with this. Now, the reason why I said it's good to pay attention to a combo, it's because you might accidentally press it too fast if you're actually going for one or the other enhanced skill. For example, if I press left click all the way, watch the skill. See, like you easily miss it. So it's good to know, like, her backflip is the cue to press a skill like that. And then you lock it in. And then you can already start holding basic attack to lock in once you're already at the end of the combo for the second icon. For example, I need 1 more gauge over here. I'll just do it. And then hold basic while this is going on. Like that. And then it's done for Mike Wazowski's. And then press and hold resonance skill for the mic drop. That's it. And her ultimate is straight up damage, and ultimate is interesting. It's gonna give her a special buff. What this buff does is that it's gonna give her an additional Mike Wazowski of a different color. So I'm gonna do basic yellow. See how I get an additional blue? So that's what the buff is for after ultimate. Similarly, when she does her intro, she gets the opposite effect. After intro, she gets 2 of the same colors. I'll show it in the rotation later. Another thing that I haven't mentioned is her resonance skill. Resonance skill is a simple attack. Like this. This resonance skill's cooldown is separate from the enhanced resonance and enhanced basic buttons. The use of this resonance skill is that it skips you straight to the 3rd basic combo chain. So let me show you. I'll press resonance skill and then straight away press basic combo. See? Straight away to the backflip. So it speeds up the whole process. And then you lock in. And then hold E. So now you already got the gist of Sigrika. She's really easy to play. If you just don't want to think at all, you can actually just spam basic all the way. And then just press shiny buttons. Just spam basic. Get 4 Mike Wazowski. 2. Once you already have 2, press and hold basic. And then continue again. 2 more gauge. Press and hold basic. Lock in Mike Wazowski. And then press and hold skill when you have 4 Mike Wazowskis for the big mic drop. Like that. And then ultimate. gives you the buff that gives you a different color, Mike Wazowski. So that's how you play Sigrika. Very, very simple. Now you already know most of her kit. The only thing left to talk about here is her intro skill. So this is what her intro skill does. I'll switch to Shorekeeper and then intro Sigrika. Once I intro Sigrika in, she's gonna start from the second combo, and it's gonna give her a buff similar to the ultimate buff, where it gives her a second Mike Wazowski of the different color. Except this time, when I intro her, she's gonna get the buff that gives her the same color of the Mike Wazowski. So I will bring her in and just spam basic, and then we'll just watch her gauge. Okay, enhance basic. See how it immediately gives me 2 gauges, and then I'll just press heavy attack to lock in the mics. And now I already lock in the mic. What's next? Remember, ultimate also gives a buff that gives me an extra mic. So ultimate. And then same thing. Basic. See? So this is actually really fast to get her Forte to full. Now I have 2 more. I just lock in with a heavy attack again. I have 4 Mike Wazowski. And then I press and hold skill. Mic drop. So that's how Sigrika is played. Now you already understand the 4 segments in her bar. Now there's another tiny bar below this 4 segment. This tiny bar below is basically the counter for her echo that's buffing her. So let me just show you. It's also shown on the side panel over here. So if I use Shorekeeper and pop the echo once, see how the bar is increased by 1/3. And then I'll bring Chuyen in. I'll press his echo once. See how it's increased again? So I'll do Chuyen's Forte, where it gives 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. See how it's already increased to another second bar, yellow bar, 2/3 of the yellow bar. So that's the counter for 5. And then I'll move Sigrika in. Now look at her bar below here. I'll press echo one more time. Now it's full. It's full purple and full yellow. So that's 6 echoes used. And what this bar does is that every time you do the lock-in Mike Wazowski attack, it's gonna consume 1 bar to improve the damage by 50%. And when you consume 1 whole bar, it's also gonna give Sigrika a huge damage bonus, amplification bonus. So let me consume the buff and show you. So 1 mic. Okay. 2 mic. Okay, I'll lock in. It's gonna consume 1 bar. So now I have this buff over here, amplification buff. So now I have a purple bar. I'll also consume it. Okay. And then, now the bar is empty. I have 2 stacks of the amplification. And this amplification buff is also going to buff the huge mic drop attack. However, there's something to pay attention to is that this buff goes away on 2 conditions. Number 1 is if I do the big mic drop. I'm not going to do it now because it's going to kill this enemy. Number 2 is if you switch Sigrika out. So this is the caveat over here. You don't want to quick swap Sigrika when she has this buff or else it's going to be gone. So I'm going to bring Shorekeeper in. And now Sigrika in. And see, it's already gone. So remember how I said that Sigrika's resonance skill shortcuts her to the 3rd hit combo, like so? So we're going to use this to facilitate her combo after her ultimate. Just focus on Sigrika's input. For Shorekeeper and Chuyen, I'll just use their echo contribution. So echo, Chuyen in, echo again. Okay, now Sigrika in, echo, spam basic. Lock in, ultimate, E skill again, and then spam basic. So once you spam basic until the 2 marks left, just lock in again, like so. Lock in again, and then now you have 4 marks. Straight away, whole skill, mic drop. Now when it comes to her gear, weapon, signature weapon obviously is the best for her. It comes with crit damage, attack, and then echo skill damage and all that, defense ignore. If you can't get this weapon, you can also settle for Zani or Rochia's weapon, or the new and old standard gacha weapon. Very straightforward. Now for Echo, we're going to be using the new arrow set, Sound of True Name. This one gives arrow damage and also dealing Echo skill damage increases her skill crit rate and also arrow damage bonus. You'll be going for 3311, the astronaut 4 cost. Main stat for this will be crit rate or crit damage based on your crit ratio. And for the 3 cost, you can go element and energy regen. Now the interesting thing here is that a part of Sigrika's damage is scaled from energy regen. As seen over here, every 1% of Sigrika's energy regen over 125% increases 2% echo skill damage up to 50%. Meaning you want to get up to 150% energy regen for the max bonus. However, if your total energy regen without the 3 cost is already at about 132.5%, then you can opt for going double attack or double LE or LE plus attack. That's when it outweighs the full 150% energy regen buff. And then for the 1 cost, you go for attack percentage. For the substats, very simple. Double crit, attack percent, and energy regen, followed by flat attack. Skill leveling wise, you prioritize Forte, followed by ultimate, followed by basic attack, and then it's skill and intro. Now, as for her sequences, TLDR S1 gives her more immunity to interruptions, and her enhanced basic and resonance skill damage is increased by 70%. This is not the lock-in damage. This is just the enhanced basic or skill after the forfeit combo. And this one, encapsulated, now stacks up to 3 times. Basically, every time Sigrika outros, she gets 2 stacks of encapsulated, and then anytime resonators cast echo skill, it's gonna stagnate the target. So in S1, this one goes up to 3 stacks. So S1 is mostly utility, just immune to interruption, and also a 3 times stagnation. S2 is a huge boost in her damage. The Mike Wazowski drop, the Mike drop attack damage is increased by 120%. And also whenever she's not in combat for over 4 seconds, she gains a Divergent. This is the same buff that she gets whenever she uses her ultimate. So every time outside of battle, you straight away gain a half gauge right away, and then you can lock in. S3 is pretty amusing. S3 is the one where it allows you to quick swap slightly more, and also her innate gift now stacks up to 4 times. Innate gift is the one that gives her 30% damage amp for her Forte skills. So stacking up to 4 times means that whenever you do 2 full rotations, she gets her full damage potential. However, although S3 allows for more quick swap, you need to watch out for Solid Skin Vitality. That's the tiny gauge at the bottom of Forte that counts up to 6 echo uses. This one will reset every time she does her outro. So you need to do your 6 echoes again every time you outro. So be careful with this. And then S4 and S5 is just damage. S6, target straight up take 30% more damage from her. And then the innate gift gives her even more damage amp, and also comes with defense ignore. So this is when she goes full-on DPS. Recommendation wise, it's better to go for S0 R1 first, and then followed by S1, and then S2, and then S6. Also, since Chuyen's banner is up at this time of posting, it's recommended to get Chuyen as well if you want to bring Sigrika up to her full potential, since Chuyen gives all that echo skill buff and he himself gives 4 echo charges. And if you want to push it even further, Chuyen's S2 also gives additional 30% echo skill damage amp. Now for team composition wise, you've already seen it in the trial earlier. Shorekeeper, Chuyen, followed by Sigrika. They have the best synergy at the moment, since Chuyen himself gives 50% echo skill damage amp when he outros. Another alternative would be Frolova, Chuyen, Sigrika, since Frolova's Hecate is reliant on echo skill proc, so it's gonna be proccing a lot with Chuyen and Sigrika, while also dealing a lot of damage herself. And the classic 3.0 team, if you have Mornier and Linne. You can also consider something like Shorekeeper and Cantarella. And if you have none of those, you can also go for the Cope team, Shorekeeper, Sanhua, and Sigrika. Otherwise, Chuyen is the ideal support for Sigrika. Like, everything that he does boosts Sigrika. But yeah, that's the end of this crash course. I have other guides here as well if you want to check them out for characters that you don't know how to play. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.